friends, and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm sharing with you some look for less Christmas DIYs. These are super easy to make, very inexpensive dupes for higher end items that you may see at Kirkland's, Pottery Barn, Home Sense, or even on Instagram that people are sharing. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the like button if you do, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. First DIY that I'm working on are these bells. I picked these up at our dollar store and more store, which is a local store. I live in Ontario, Canada, and we have several of these, but there's only one that really has a huge seasonal section as well as DIY section. I also picked up some paint, different kinds of gold paint that I wanted to try out and see which one I will use. Now these bells were $4 each, which I did think it was a little bit pricey, but I'm not sure. I did not see them at Dollar Tree, so that would probably be the only place where I would find them cheaper. I did see them at Canadian Tire for $14.99, which I thought was a little bit crazy. So the first thing that I did was remove the greenery as well as the bow and the tag. If you're stopping by my channel for the very first time, my name is Sonja, and here on my channel I do lots of seasonal decor along with just general decor DIYs for your home, as well as some furniture upcycling. So if you think this is something that you'd be interested and being part of, I would love it if you consider subscribing, pressing the notification bell so you don't miss out when my uploads do come up. I have been a bit wonky with uploading videos for all of my channels because I did restart my home daycare again, so just getting into groove of things, it's been a bit of a challenge. So make sure that bell is on so that way you do get notified when the videos do pop up. So now that everything is off, I'm going to apply my first coat of paint, and this is a lighter gold. I originally did think I was gonna go with this paint through the whole project, but once the paint dried, I decided that it was not what I wanted. So I add the paint into my bowl, and then I add a little bit of baking soda for my first coat. And then I apply that, and then once that coat is dried, I repeat the process, but I add a bit more baking soda to it. This will just give it extra texture. I do love those antique brass bells, and they tend to have a lot of texture to them. They look like they've been kind of hammered or beaten up a little bit, and that's kind of what I was trying to recreate here. It is virtually impossible to get bigger bells in where I'm located, or you can find giant bells that tend to be the wrong style or the wrong color. So I did want to add a little bit of bells throughout my decor. I purchased some small ones on Amazon, but I did want to find some bigger ones, which I did for $40 for 2, and then I also found some for $30 for 3, but I was spending already so much, so I decided to create some of my own. So once the paint had fully dried, and this did take about 24 hours to do so, I took my antiquing wax. This is black wax. It's from Annie Sloan. It's the one that I do have on hand. You can use pretty much any wax, or even you can use paint if you want. And I took a little sponge and I just dabbed it on any raised areas on here, just to kind of accentuate that all those bumps that I have added with baking soda. Now this is the point where I have decided that I want to add a different gold to it, and I didn't do a full coverage of this one, but just adding some of it, lighter coat across some of the areas gave it that look that I was going for. I'm not sure if you can really see it well on the camera. I will try and do a closer close-up to it once I complete all three of them. So I'm going to repeat the same process on the other three. I did leave one out because I'm thinking I'm going to do something different with that one. So that light coat of paint didn't take very long to dry, and now I'm going to add a rope, and I wanted to add some rope around the little part there, as well as make like a little loop, because I wasn't sure whether I'm going to hang these up across a banister or just have them sitting on the shelf. So I wanted to create a loop, and then I'm going to decide at a later time what exactly how I'm going to decorate with them. This just gave me options. So this turned out really cute. I love the way they look for under $10. For my next DIY, I thrifted this vase. This came from Value Village, I believe. I've used it as a white vase in my decor, but I've always intended to paint it. And then while I was browsing at HomeSense, I came across this arrangement, and I thought it looked so pretty. It was $24.99, and I thought I could do a lot better. That $24.99 is not a huge amount, but I knew I had this vase and I could create this for a fraction of the price. So I took my Annie Sloan chalk paint, forget what, I think it's Athenian black that I used. I did have to add a little bit of water to it because it was very thick, and then I off camera did clean the vase so that way I wouldn't have a problem with the paint sticking, and I gave the vase 2 coats. You want the first coat to be fully dried before you apply the second, but as you know, chalk paint dries pretty quick, so that this wasn't a very time-consuming project. So once I had the vase covered with the second coat, I took some flour and I sprinkled it all over the vase while it was still wet. And then you let that set aside and let it dry completely before you proceed doing another step. I did similar type of DIYs last year for my ornaments, which I will link it up in the sky for you to check out. So then you take a brush and you just brush off any excess that you no longer, that off the vase, so that way there's no powdery stuff on it. And then you can, which I did, you can take the more of that black paint and just fill in the spots if you don't like the way some of the design look like. I do think that I maybe should have used a brush to apply the flower on instead of just sprinkling on it. I did find that it was a little bit spotty, so that's why I went in again with some paint and just lightly covered up some areas. You don't have to do this at all if you are happy with your design, but if you're not, there's always a solution. So next I'm going to share with you a product that I had partnered up with for this portion of the video, and it is this mini electric chainsaw by Tommy Vick, and this has come in so handy, especially at this time of the year when I'm doing a lot of trimming of bushes and using greenery in my decor. So this came with so it is cordless, and it came with 2 chargeable batteries as well as an extra chain, and then also the power cord to charge these batteries. I do like the case that it came in, because you can just store everything nicely in it and put it away. It's very small, perfect for those little small odd jobs around your garden. And it also came with safety glasses, gloves, as well as a screwdriver to adjust the chain, the extra chain that came with it, and the instruction pamphlet, so that way you know what you're doing. I took and this little key, I think it's called a key. So I went outside, and then I did realize I did not put the safety glasses or the gloves on for the first part of the project, but I went ahead into my front yard where I have the cedar, and there's always a ton of branches at the bottom that I like to trim off because they kind of interfere with the porch. And I use the greenery in my decor. Some of it here was dry, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to use. I always find that it is a little bit hard to cut some of these branches with shears. So here I am putting the glasses back on, and and I'm going to use the gloves. At this point, my husband did come out to help me record this as well, and we went over to my birch because this birch is slowly dying, and I wanted to cut some sticks off of it, branches, so I can use that in my decor as well. And look how easy that worked. Like I said, some of these things are too hard to cut with shears. Even the bigger shears would struggle a little bit, and it's too small of a job to cut with a big chainsaw. So this thing came in so handy. I will have a link down below for you to check them out if you would like to try it out for yourself. My mother-in-law also tried. She is in her 70s, and she quite liked the ease of it. It's very light as well, so don't forget to check it out. The link will be in the description box. So now I'm inside, and I'm just going to trim off the smallest branches, and I'm going to use these for my arrangement. Now on the picture it was pine that they used, but I want cedar because this is what I have throughout my house. And when you're putting these cedar branches in, I don't have water in it now, but I would advise you to add water to it. They will last a lot longer. They will last for a very long time without water as well, and if you're not touching them, they won't fall apart. But if you are worried about them falling apart, then I would just make sure that you are adding water to it, probably every once a week or so. So I did not add pine cones into mine just because I didn't have any pine cones on a stick, but I could have made some. I have lots of pine cones, but I thought the greenery and then the addition of these berries that I got in summertime at Dollar Tree worked really well and gave me that look that I was looking for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was super easy, inexpensive, and I love the way it turned out. So I wanted to include this little quick DIY. I have a ton of these clear ornaments. These are from Michael's, but you can get them at Dollar Tree as well. And I just wanted to share with you a very quick DIY. I had these mini pine cones. Some are frosted and some aren't. And I just filled it up with them. And I just love the way this turned out. It's such an easy DIY, and these ornaments sell from, I've seen some at Canadian Tire for upwards of $5-6, and then there's a lot more expensive ones at Pottery Barn with similar. You can fill these up with berries, like I said, pine cones, or even just some of that cedar you can stick in there. The possibilities are endless. And to dress it up even more, I would recommend painting the little cap or adding some rough and buff to it, or a glaze, or anything that you have. I have antiquing glaze. I think that's what it's called. Yes, from Annie Sloan. So I use that as well, just to elevate the look of the ornament. You can also take it out and spray paint it. And then to go one step further, you can add some ribbon to it as well to hang it up. Going from something that costs under $1 to a very high-end look. Moving on to another ornament project. I did pick these up at your dollar store with more. I just loved the design on them. I didn't love all the glitter that they had. But I just want to say, when you come across ornaments that you don't like the color, it is the easiest way to solve that problem. You can use spray paint. I've seen stone spray paint and spray paint used together, which gives a really nice texture to an ornament. To antiquing glaze, to waxes, to flower, all sorts of different stuff. Like I said, I have a whole video dedicated to many ways you can upcycle an ornament that I did last year, but I wanted to just show you how easy it is to add this the color of your decor style to this specific ornament. I had champagne colored ornaments. I think this would be a rose gold colored ornaments a couple years back, but I'm kind of done with them. I'm more into earthy tones, the darker colors. So, but like I said, I loved the design of this one. So I took a sanding block and I sanded off as much glitter as I possibly could. I could not get it all off, but the majority of it I did get off. And once I was done doing that, I proceeded with painting them with first color and then the second color, which I will show you in just a second. So before you start painting them, take some either skewer sticks or any dowels, longer dowels that you have, and put them through the hole where the little end piece goes. You can even go another step and duct tape them, or use masking tape or painter's tape to tape them together, so that way it doesn't turn on you. I have had this shimmery gold color that I wanted to use, so I wanted to give it a try. I did just buy it. It was a brand that I've never used before, and it had come from your dollar store with more. It wasn't sticking to the surface as well as I would have liked to. I could have added Mod Podge to it first, probably would have been a little bit easier, but I wasn't looking for full coverage, so I was okay with it not covering it 100%. And then the last thing that I did, I took the little ends and I just added some gold glaze to them using a brush and the little the glaze from Annie Sloan that I have. And I think this turned out really nice. I'm using mine in a bowl, but you can again hang them up, and don't forget to use some ribbon or some twine to elevate the look. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed these DIYs. I hope you got tons of inspiration. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not. Don't forget to hit the like button if you had enjoyed these DIYs, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.